Come on down to Obscure Town. That was really lame. I'm not putting that in. Chameleon Twist snuck itself into the N64 library under everyone's nose in 1997. Developed by Japan's Supply System, famed developer of one game, and produced by Sunsoft. Neither of them was doing well at the time apparently because they couldn't afford any advertisement. With games like GoldenEye, Star Fox 64, and even Diddy Kong Racing coming out less than a month earlier, it slipped right under the radar, and the truck picking up the shipment, because no one had a damn clue. I'm not gonna lie in saying that the lack of exposure is the only reason behind why they sold like 4 copies. The story is extremely simple and simply dumb. They opted to ignore textures in favor of blinding solid colors, and the camera does no favor to the already frustrating perspective. The game follows the story of either Davy, Jack, Linda, or Fred. Okay, any decision other than Fred is wrong. Look at how sad he is! Nothing says cheerful children's game like Prozac with your morning coffee. Anyways, you take the place of Sad the Chameleon, as you, much like real chameleons in the wild, intrude on someone else's business and merrily hops after them into the unknown. Is that the Alice in Wonderland rabbit? That's literally the Alice in Wonderland rabbit. Is this canon? Chameleon Twist officially happens in the Alice in Wonderland universe. Why go through the painstaking task of making an original world where we can just steal one and cross our fingers and hope we don't get our asses sued off? Also, explain to me how we go from low poly to that. How is that a chameleon at all? Sure they get the long tongue, but no tail? Weird cheek circles? This is Frog Twist. Whatever. You sure we're in a hurry to sit there and wait for me? The gameplay is actually unique and interesting, which also makes it difficult to get used to, which really turned me off at first, but once you get used to it, it's oddly fun. Your main weapon in this game is your tongue. Use it to gather small enemies in order to spit them out at large enemies. Nothing special, right? You're basically Yoshi, but the similarities end when you hit the platforming. You can use your tongue to get extra jump height and fling yourself forward, or even attach to walls and travel over a pit and get a little extra jump at the end. And don't get me started on the pegs. Attaching them and waiting will simply react just like a wall would, but tap A and... or get a little closer and... This game is genuinely unique in the way they go about using their tongue mechanics for platforming and fighting enemies. It's damn cool. Oh, did I mention there was a sequel? Yeah, I'm just gonna squeeze that one in there. They managed to make just enough money on the first game, apparently, but they made a sequel in the next year. This time, Wonderland Rabbit forces you into his drug-fueled hellscape.
Oh, baby, don't you forget about me.
Other than your appearance, this game is pretty much the same, other than a bit of a fluidity boost in game mechanics, a parachute umbrella, and of course you look like a goddamn chameleon now. Except in the Japanese version where they stuck with Round Bob, not a chameleon. The rest of the world was sick of that shit. The biggest flaw that I can see in these games, other than the headache-inducing environments, character unoriginality, and the lack of any real story, is that they're extremely short and laughably easy, only getting harder during the last level of 2, and boy does it jack up. Let me just lay this one on you. I'm gonna get specific and pissed off for a sec. Right before the end boss, spoilers by the way, they place you in a grid with 2 mimics and no way out. Also the ground tilts and lowers as they chase you, and the only fodder for you to use are these 3 fucking ghosts that appear and disappear as they please. So you get stuck running around being chased down by these giant-ass enemies that do not give you a break. As you fall through the stage and off the stage and into the ghosts as they appear right in front of you, and then they disappear again before you can get up to grab them. And you have to hit each mimic 5 times to kill them, and only then will the way forward reveal itself. What's left to say, really? They're super N64-y. Can that be a defining term now? N64-y? Low poly, brightly colored, big-headed anthropomorphic animal as the main character? Platformy with perspective issues? They're not bad games. Sure they have their faults, but they're 100% playable and 80% enjoyable. The unique gameplay is hella fun, the enemies are cutesy, and the story is at least laughable. I would absolutely say that these are hidden gems. I feel that with a little bit more work put into them and maybe a bit more exposure, they would have been a real asset to the console, and definitely an asset to your N64 collection. The first game is everywhere, the second one's a little harder to find, but if you run into them, go pick them up. You probably won't be disappointed. Hey, thanks for watching, and if you like what you saw, maybe I've got something else for you over here. Also subscribe and follow me on Twitter. Or not, I'm not going to tell you how to live your life.